Hey everyone, it is Rose from Yoga for All with Rose. Thank you for joining me. My channel, Yoga for All with Rose, is an attempt to bring accessible and inclusive yoga for everybody. Today's practice is going to be a short introduction to restorative yoga. We will be doing 4 restorative yoga poses and we will end with Shavasana, with the final resting pose. Restorative yoga is different from other practices, mainly because we use a lot of props to support our body. The idea is that by supporting our body, we allow our body to relax within the pose. So we're not looking for that deep stretch. We are looking for a sensation where you can fully relax within the pose. So today I will be using some home props. Often in a restorative class in a yoga studio, you would have bolsters and a lot of very easy items to have access to in a yoga studio, but at home we do not have that luxury. But we are totally able to use home props. So what I have here is 2 of my sofa cushions. Sofa cushions normally are quite nice because they're a little bit firmer. You could also use regular pillows for that. I like their size, so I have become quite fond of them. I have a simple bath towel and another one. So I'll be using 2 bath towels, and then I have my thick wool blanket. Now, all these could be blankets, all these could be towels. Most of us will have those in our households. And then I also have some yoga blocks. I have my cork blocks that are a little bit higher than my foam blocks that are a little bit lower. All these blocks could be replaced by a book that is a little bit thicker, or an item that has the shape of the block that is sturdy enough. Also, in some cases, these blocks could be replaced by pillows. So let's get going. There's a lot of preparation. So thank you for listening to my introduction. And I would like us to start building a little bit of a ramp at the end of the yoga mat so that we can enter our first yoga pose. So here I'm placing my block, which could also be a book, at the very end of my yoga mat, and then right next to it I'm placing my first pillow. On top of that pillow, slightly overlapping, I'm placing my second pillow. And at this point, I am going to start taking my bath towels, big towel folded in half, folded another time into a long rectangle version of it, and then I'm just going to place it over my pillows. And I notice that I need to move that a little bit further. And I'm going to take my second bath mat. And I like to have one bath mat that is very, very soft. So if I'm placing my face on it, it is soft to touch. I also have my soft wool blanket that I'm going to place on top. So here I have my ramp, and then I have folded in a similar fashion my thick wool blanket, and I place it on top. And voila, I have this little bit of a ramp. So I'm going to put that block away. We won't be using that. And now I am gently sitting my hip right next to my ramp. And I'm going to have one of these purple blocks available. This could be replaced by another pillow, maybe a smaller pillow. And from here, I'm just going to gently lay my belly, my side body on the ramp, and find this supported, gentle twist for my torso. This might be very comfortable for you, and I invite you to stay here. Or alternatively, you might place this smaller block or a pillow between your legs, between your knees. And this will be our first pose for us to hold. Now, I'm turning the palms of my hands down so that I feel my lower arm well supported. And I'm starting to scan my body for any tension that I might be storing. I'm going to start the scan from my toes, coming up my shins to my knees. And I'm really trying to see if there is anything that I can let go of. Coming to my pelvis, to my lower back, to my belly, back, shoulders, my arms, my hands, my face. Normally in restorative yoga, silence is a big component, but as this is an introduction, I will be talking more than I would usually, so that if this is your first experience with restorative, maybe it might make it a little bit more accessible. So in restorative, we would typically hold our poses between 5 and up to 20 minutes. And the idea really is here that I am sensation free in this pose, yet I'm creating this wonderful twist for my upper body. And I aim to relax my body deeply. Sometimes the mind wants to wander, and I always propose anchoring yourself to your breath, feeling how the inhale floats in and feeling how the exhale floats out through your nostrils. If there is a lot of tension that you carry in your mind, sometimes filling your belly with the breath, letting the belly expand with the inhale, and then even sighing it out through the mouth can help you calm the mind and maybe even ease the tension. I invite you to feel how your jaw is feeling. If there is any tension in your jaw that you can let go of. As this is a shorter introduction to restorative, I wish to invite you to make any changes in this pose right now that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable, as we will stay here for another few moments with the goal of relaxing, draping our body over the ramp we put together. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, and even think of listening to your breath and how it moves in and out in your body. Now, very gently, without moving the body yet, I invite you to take a deeper breath in and a deeper breath out in preparation to come up from this pose. And when you feel ready, allowing your hands to gently push you up and come to an upright position. And maybe we extend our legs a little bit. Move them. And then we would prepare to do the other side. Now I will move my whole ramp to the other side so that I can still face you, but I invite you to just gently come to your other hip, your opposite hip connected to the ramp, and then gently folding the body over. And I like to use the block between my thighs, so I just gently place it between my knees. And making any adjustments that you need to feel more relaxed, more at ease in this pose. My lower arms are resting on the floor, receiving my weight. And with restorative, I would like to remind you that this is your practice. And if at any time you feel discomfort, I invite you to make any adjustments in the pose that make you feel more comfortable and at ease. And then I invite you to do that body scan we did the first time around, starting from the feet, coming up to the ankles, through the shins, to the knees, observing if there's any tension that you might be able to let go of. Coming up the legs to your pelvis, softening the belly, back, especially the lower back. And this is a wonderful moment to really feel the breath, how your belly expands against the ramp we built, softening your heart space, the chest, as well as the space behind your chest and your heart. Shoulders relaxing, arms, forearms, gently supported by the floor. Your head gently turned to one side, softening the face, the jaw, the front of the neck as well as the back of the neck. Maybe closing your eyes, or maybe you bring your gaze to a soft stillness, turn down. And again, if your mind wants to wander, just take note of that and bring your mind back to your breath, into the sensation of the air floating in through your nostrils and the air floating out through your nostrils. Allowing yourself to relax and soften into the pose. Again, I invite you to make any adjustments that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable in this pose.
you soften the body against the blankets, I gently invite you to allow there to be a spine with a lengthened expression. And what I mean by that, allowing there to be space between your tailbone and the crown of your head, and allowing each inhale help you create that space, and each exhale soften the body. And again, without moving just yet, I invite you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And when you feel ready, gently allowing your hands to move you back to the upright position. And I invite you to move slow. This time around, bring your knees bent in front of you, maybe supporting yourself with your hands. Just a little bit of a windshield wiper, a small variation of it. And we are going to lay down on our ramp. So I'm going to make sure the very bottom of my spine is right at the beginning of our ramp. And I'm going to have my 2 foam blocks available to me. These could be replaced by any smaller pillows. And I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together to a variation of reclined butterfly. And I'm just going to gently recline my body on my wrap and place those either blocks or pillows under my knees so that my knees are supported by those props. My lower arm is resting on the floor. My elbows are not quite touching the floor, and we have some options here. It might feel good to have the palms facing up, but it also might feel good to have the palms facing down. So I invite you to experiment with that. So here we have a gentle heart opening of the front body, as well as opening of the hips. And here I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, relaxing your jaw, the back of the eyes, the face, the neck, feeling where your neck is supported by your blankets and the ramp. Allow the front of your neck to soften and relax, feeling the back of the shoulders supported by your prop, allowing the whole length of your spine be supported by the length of the prop. Gently allowing the hips, the knees open, and maybe you still feel your feet, the soles of the feet together. But if that does not call you or feel comfortable, you can always have your feet just a little bit apart. Softening the front of your body, your belly, your heart, foot of the neck, and the face. Gently traveling with your breath as it floats in, fills your lungs, and as it floats out through your nostrils, softening, allowing you to sink deeper into this pose. I invite you to scan your whole body for any residual tension that might be lingering. And I invite you to bring your mind's eye to that place of tension and see if you can let it soften and let go of the tension. Feeling all the contact points with your body, allowing your body to soften to all those contact points, whether that is a prop or the ground itself. If your mind becomes restless, gently invite it to come back to the sensation of the inhale and the exhale. And this is an introduction. We will be staying here as long as we would in a full restorative 1-hour class. And I invite you to mentally think about moving on, yet without moving your body. I invite you to take a deeper inhale and a deeper exhale. And then when you feel ready, I invite you to gently bring one knee towards the ceiling, placing the foot down, followed by the other, moving any props from the side and gently rolling to one side and coming up to an upright seated pose. Now we're gonna move a little bit more. We have one more pose that we're gonna do together. And for this, I'm gonna show towards you this very small straddle. So the legs are not together, they are not all the way to the sides, they're sort of a little bit towards the corners of the yoga mat. And we come to a ramp, and we're gonna change it a little bit. I'm gonna take my stack of blankets and towels, and I'm just gonna fold them in half. And then I am going to I won't be needing this block with this practice. I'm gonna have that bottom pillow right where it is, and I'm gonna put my second pillow right on top of it. And now I place my folded blankets on top of it all. I try to create a little bit higher tower for myself. And I'm trying to bring my pelvis as close to my tower as possible so that my belly can reach over this prop that we created. Now to me, this is a lot of sensation in my legs as it is a forward fold, and it's meant to open the back line of our body. So with these purple blocks that could be replaced by pillows, I'm going to gently place them under my knees. So I place it toward the bottom of my thigh and under my knee. Finding a place that feels good for you. I'm supporting myself a little bit more. And then I'm going to drape my body over my prop. And here's some options. I often like to fold my arms and even rest my forehead on my hands that are stacked. This might take a little bit of wiggling in your behalf, finding that comfortable pose that is not too intense for the backs of your legs. Another option would be to place a chair right here in front of you. And before we sink into this pose, I'm also going to offer you another adjustment, which is taking one of your blankets. My situation here is very soft, but you might have that rectangle blanket folded in half, making a small square. You might have that right next to your stack, sitting on it so that your hips are a little bit raised, and then have the props for your knees. Bring that close to your belly and gently drape over it. This actually feels better for me as well, as I feel like my hips are elevated just a little bit. And here I am, softening my forehead, draping my body forward, allowing everything to soften. And again, this time around, I invite you to scan your body for any tension at this point, and allowing yourself to fold forward, feel the support and softness as you let go, making sure the back of your head is soft, easing any tension right at the back of your hairline, allowing the jaw to be soft, the space behind your eyes to be soft, as well as your forehead and face, gently relaxing. Maybe touching your hands, maybe touching your lower arm. However you have found comfort in this supported forward fold. Feel your belly expand and soften. Feel your lungs expand sideways. And feel the back of your lungs, the space behind your heart, expand with each inhale. And feel how it softens towards your center, spine, with each exhale. Resting here, letting go. Now I invite you to make any adjustments that might make you feel more comfortable. as we hold this pose for another couple moments. And like we did with the previous poses, I invite you to prepare your mind to come out of this pose without moving yet. Taking a deep breath in, filling the lungs fully, softening with the exhale. And then when you feel ready, allowing your hands help you come upright, mindfully removing any props that might have been present under your legs and finding any little intuitive movement that feels good in this upright straddle, if you will. And then as we prepare for our Shavasana, we're going to undo the tower we built, placing the props to the sides. And for our Shavasana, I invite you to open your blanket and just have it laid down on your mat or on your floor space. And then with your soft bath towel, I invite you to roll one end, maybe a third of the way, not quite the halfway, and place it at the top of your yoga mat. This is going to be for our neck, a little extra support. And with my last towel, I'm gently gonna fold it into a little bit of a stack. You could also use your pillows for this, but this will be for the backs of my knees so that I can have this little bit of a softness in them. And then making your way down, adjusting your props so that you feel comfort in this final resting pose, allowing your knees to have the backs of your knees to have the support of that blanket, allowing your palms to be turned up if that feels good, and feeling the support under your neck from that rolled towel, and feeling the softness of the blanket under your back. And here I invite you to gently close your eyes. Make any adjustments that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And if there are any other props that call you, an eye pillow or something else, I invite you to have that available to you. And just like we did in the previous poses, gently scanning your body for any tension, starting from the toes, coming up to your ankles, letting go. Your shins, your knees, front and back, letting go. The backs of your thighs, the tops of your thighs, your pelvis, softening the abdomen, the heart, shoulders, the whole back of your spine, softening to the floor, allowing the back of the head be soft, and allowing the whole length of your arm soften to the floor with the backs of your hands. And I invite you to gently soften your jaw, the space behind your eyes, as well as your forehead, from any worry. Resting here at ease. And as this is a shorter practice, I invite you to stay here as long as you wish. And if you are ready to move on, finding little movement in your fingers and your toes. Maybe letting the thumb pad caress the tops, the tips of your fingers. And when you feel ready, coming to a fetal pose on one side. Taking a deep breath of gratitude here. And then when you feel ready, allowing your hands to bring you to any comfortable seated pose. And bring your hands to your heart center, bringing the gaze down. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And let's do one more of those together. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling through the mouth this time. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. Thank you for joining me for this introduction to restorative yoga. I hope it brought joy and relaxation to your body and spirit and mind. If you have not done so, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and find the other movement, yoga, and breathing videos that I have. Thank you for your time and energy. Be well.